Hello fam, welcome in, it's Gratzie, and today I have another Sims 4 speed build. Now this time I did do a shell challenge. This is the Egg Hell Challenge 1, hosted by courteggy. Now you can find courteggy here on YouTube doing Sims content, as well as on Twitch, and I'm going to put her Twitter down below so you can actually find the shell challenge itself. But she does Twitch panels and screens as well, so that is really cool if you're looking for some Twitch art. Go check her out. Also, the shell challenge, you can find it on Twitter. There are some rules, there are some limitations, but she is also doing a giveaway for this. So if you do this by December 9th and submit it, you have a chance to win a stuff pack. That's cool. I already have a complete collection, so I just do these for fun because shell challenges are fun. So you will see me use some nocc custom artwork in this build. What that is someone had their sim paint from reference custom artwork in the game, and when you upload a room like that to the gallery, you are able to use the painting that had the paint from reference on it. You're able to use it in your game without it counting as custom content, which is really cool. You can use it for like creative custom designs, custom counters, custom pictures, or what I used a lot of these things for, signs. Yeah, that's cool. So the custom artwork that I used was by Haley Hunt 76 for my abstract art, Al J 2000 for my parking lot signs, and then Simsational 2 for my hospital signs, as well as the seaside artwork I used in my employee bathrooms. So if you see me randomly grabbing artwork off of walls that I've shoved off to the side in this build, that is what those are. Those are rooms with artwork on them that I got from the gallery from those people, and I just plopped it into my build. Okay, so if you couldn't tell by this point, or by the title, what I decided I was going to do is make a hospital. Once I went with that white theme with like the blue stripe across the top, I just instantly thought, hospital, this is going to be a hospital. I don't know why, it just looks like a hospital to me. So I was working on the little seating area for when you would first come in, and now I'm doing the signage. And I wanted it to be black, but there's a backlight on the back of all of like the writing that came with Dine Out. So when I changed the time right here, it looked red, and I thought that looked a little sinister for a hospital, so I changed it to blue. And this whole build does have a very blue theme going on. Like all of my chairs are blue, my flooring is all blue. At the exam rooms, I use like the blue exam chairs. Just everything is blue. Community lots are also like kind of a stretch for me. I mostly build residential lots. I like building houses. So the fact that I decided to do a hospital, it's just, I don't know, it's a little out there for me. But once I saw like the blue and white theme, I was just like, nope, this is a hospital. That's what I'm doing. And this actually does have all the things that you would need to use it as an actual hospital lot. But I built it on a, I think 40 by 30 size lot, not a 50 by 50. So if you were to place this in the hidden hospital lot, it would look really dumb because it's gonna have a small parking lot and then like this weird empty grass space around it. So you cannot, well, you can use it for that, but I wouldn't recommend using it for that. I put in these little monitors in what I consider to be like the nurse area, although that I realize now that doesn't really make sense because it's more of a reception area, not really a nurse area. So having the monitors there doesn't exactly make sense. I mean, it kind of depends. I've been to hospitals before where there is like this weird receptionist desk inside the hospital where the nurses actually sit, but you can go and ask them questions and things, and they do have monitors that tell you like what patients are in what rooms and like what their current vitals are and things like blood pressure and stuff like that. But because this was the front desk, that's probably a little weird, but I figured they could at least see like what rooms are open, or you know, if someone comes to visit, they could just look at the screen and be like, oh actually this hospital is not big enough for that. But if someone came to visit, they could just look at the screen and be like, this person's in room blah blah blah, which I thought would be helpful. Working on my floor plan a little bit. I have these tiny little exam rooms where Sims should actually come and, well, you know, if you use this as a real hospital lot, Sims should actually come and they go into those exam rooms to get their diagnosis and they get treated and stuff. And then I have a surgery room up here, as well as another bathroom and like the chemical analyzer room. And I looked up all the things that have to go into the hidden lot, even though I didn't make this the right size to be the hidden lot. I looked up everything you would need, and I knew I needed chemical analyzers and surgery tables and exam tables, but it turns out I needed some other things as well, which I had missed. So I needed an x-ray machine as well as the treadmill where you like do stress tests on a treadmill or whatever. So my exam rooms that I have down here, which I'm putting in right now, those ones I actually have to take out and instead turn into the x-ray room because I needed to find somewhere to put the x-ray machine. And right behind it is the employee bathroom section. So I have like a lot of individual toilets that I could use, and there is also a shower. And then this room right here is going to be the on-call room. So any nurses or doctors that have to stay overnight but don't necessarily have to work, especially if patients are asleep, they should be staying in an on-call room where they can sleep, you know, if they need to sleep. I did put like a chair in there and a bookshelf and stuff though. It's really cramped because it's tiny, so I didn't put a whole lot in here. Like there's no TV or couch or anything. There is an area to eat and stuff upstairs for the employees. I didn't really want that to be for like visiting Sims. I really wanted that to be for the employees. So ideally I think these would be in the same area, but it didn't really work out with my small build that I have here and like the floor plan that I had gone with. And here I'm putting in just decor in the exam rooms, and this is really based on like my OB. So you've got some not artwork. You have ads and stuff on the walls for different types of medicines or procedures that you can get. And I put the file things, the wall file holders on the wall as well, because there's always pamphlets on the wall. Like at an OB, there's there's birth control pamphlets, there's like venerable disease ones, there's pregnancy ones, there's a whole bunch, and nothing like that really exists in The Sims. I thought that the file holding thing was like really close to what those kind of looked like, at least at the OB that I went to. So I chucked those in there. And here I have to actually take out my blue exam rooms that I had put downstairs, and it gets turned into the x-ray room, and then I go and put a computer like in every room basically, because I really wanted if you were to use this as a hospital, I really wanted your sim to be able to quickly go from one task to another, and a lot of times you have to log any details or results that you had from any testing on a computer. So I put computers like everywhere, and it kind of makes sense. Maybe not in like a surgery room, that would probably be in a separate room, but a lot of times you have a computer right there that a nurse or a doctor is going to be logging information in when you go visit the hospital. And now I'm just chucking in some rubber plants everywhere around the hospital, because hospitals always have that same boring plant everywhere, covered in dust throughout the entire hospital. And I'm also putting in some signage. These signs are from Simsational 2, and I try to put them kind of like by doors to say, this room, is for this thing. This room is for this thing. And I also have like some authorized personnel only signs, as well as like some no smoking signs out by one of the break rooms. And it's not a break room really, it's an outdoor seating area, but this outdoor seating area I figured was like the it was the smoking section. So I put this little trash can in that I thought kind of looked like those like sand bins that you get where you put your cigarette butts in there. And then I have another outdoor seating area that is the non-smoking one. This right here is the on-call room. So doctors or nurses that are working overnight but might not necessarily have anything to do while patients are sleeping, they would be in the on-call room. They could sleep there, they can relax there. It's not really big enough to do a whole lot other than sleep. So I have a chair and a bookshelf in there that I thought would just like hold shared books, but I don't have any kind of like entertainment or anything for them to do other than read. I guess, this is The Sims, so they could watch those TVs. It's not their intended use, but they could watch those TVs out of the front desk. And then these are like the employee bathrooms. I wanted to have a lot of separate toilets so, multiple Sims could go to the bathroom at the same time. There's also a shower, because if you're on call, maybe you need time to take a shower, especially if you've been running around a lot, or doing some kind of heavy lifting or pushing, or just had a very stressful day that can, leave you sweaty. You'd want to take a shower. And this is the other outdoor seating area. This is the non-smoking one. So you can see I put a non-smoking sign in here. And I did try to go with like a blue theme, which I went with on this side over here. But there's an outdoor vertical garden, which I thought would be kind of cute. Not necessarily normal in a hospital, but as an activity for people to just kind of do, I thought it would be nice. And I'm kind of bouncing around, adding a little bit of decor objects and some trash cans in places. And hand sanitizer, I put hand sanitizer like in every bathroom. I also put it in all the exam rooms because especially right now, you see people doing that a lot, but also just at a normal hospital visit, at least in my experience the past couple years, whenever you go, the doctor, right before they walk out, you know, they put some hand sanitizer on and they sanitize their hands. And then I'm going to move on to the exterior here. I decided I like these plants as kind of like a businessy exterior thing. And I decided to chuck the whole building back in the back of the lot, and that is kind of like the drive-up area. I wanted it to be like an emergency room kind of section thing where you drive up and instantly you go in and you go to the emergency room from the outside, like the ambulance would come up there. But because I'm working with a shell, I didn't exactly have enough room to make it work like that. So I made it just kind of like a cargo loading area. And then this section right here that I walled off is actually the employee parking. And I realized, you'll see me do it at the end of the video, but after I got all of my parking spaces in here and I worked so hard on them and I had to constantly recolor these walls for the employee parking, I realized that the parking spaces were too small. Cars are 3 tiles wide, not 2 tiles wide. So all of this work and my cars did not fit. So I end up using the tool mod here at the end, and I make the cars 80%, not 80, I make the cars 20% smaller so that they actually fit in the parking spaces. So they might be a little smaller than normal if you download this lot. But these parking spaces actually, they took a decent amount of work. Like, it doesn't look like it would be a lot of work, but for some reason my computer was like going pretty slow when I was doing the fencing for this, because I did use the the business window shopping fence. And, like, I had to do not each individual space, but it felt like each individual space. Like, I had to wait a fraction of a second between, you know, one square to the next. So now this is my lovely, lovely parking area. I do use tool mod here to get this painting kind of like in the right spot. I wanted the arrow to be visible. That's why, like, this is in the corner. I wanted it to be pointing towards the entrance of the parking lot. But, since I couldn't get the arrow to be visible, I just, you know, made it look like a parking sign, even though it's not exactly in the front. And then these right here, these are from Alj 2000, my signs. I could not find any like expectant parent signs or moms with small children signs. So I used these signs in the white parking spaces that just say OB clinic on them, and it has a little person with a small person in her belly, because, you know, it's meant for pregnancy. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but it was really the best that I could find on the gallery. I couldn't really find anything that looked like an expectant parent sign that you'd see at a hospital or at a store where you get to park closer because you're pregnant or you have infants. I couldn't find that anywhere though, so I ended up using what I could find. And then I'm just kind of adding some finishing touches here. I put down some terrain paint to make it look a little bit more like a building and not, you know, some objects thrown on a piece of grass. And then I throw in just a little bit of pretty boring landscaping here where I have like all the same plant basically all the way across, you know, kind of the thing you would see at a hospital. And then I wall off my cargo loading area, which, you know, I wanted to be the emergency kind of thing. Ideally, I think it would be an emergency thing, like where the ambulance drops you off, is walled off so that people aren't seeing people being unloaded from an ambulance from, like, you know, like the building behind the hospital. But because it wasn't really that, it's just a cargo loading thing, it's probably a little weird. But I just, since that's the idea I was going for, that's how I did it. And you can just see I sized down all the cars so they actually fit in my parking spaces because they were way too big. Alright, so here are the screenshots. I hope you enjoyed. Come back and see me again next time. Bye!